right. Good Monday evening, Tuesday. Oh my gosh, hold on. It's not Monday, it's Tuesday. Let me go and restart. Rewind. Good Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. We have some stuff that we're going to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, if you have not hit the like button yet, go in and do so right now. We have around a good, let's see, around like a good amount of people up in here. Let me see how many likes we have right now. 6 people watching so far, and only around 4 likes. So if you're a part of, that 2 that have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. It's free, and you can change your mind at any time if you want to. Also, if you've not hit the subscribe button yet, go ahead and do so. We're at 651, trying to get to that main goal of 700. We are 24 away from the 3/4 of the way mark, and then we are, like I said, 49 away from that main goal. What's going on in terms of what we're going to talk about tonight? Well, we will, in fact, talk about the weather for currently, what's currently going on throughout the state. We'll talk about the weather for tonight, tomorrow, and also we will go in and talk about the weather for a short-term future, long-term future. We'll talk about how, for the most part, we're going to get a little strong Arctic cold front Thursday with gusty winds, maybe even some fire danger as well, as the lake wind advisories are possible. Maybe even some red flag warnings potential. If the timing does align, we could definitely be looking at some fire weather concern on Thursday. Very cold Friday morning and very cold Thursday night. We're going to talk about that, and cooler and drier going into the weekend and early next week. So we're going to talk about all of that as we go into tonight. Now, what's going on right now currently? We're talking about currently first. And in terms of what's currently going on right now throughout the state of South Carolina, it looks like right now, in fact, nothing is going on. Nice and dry right now in terms of convection. But throughout the entire United States, obviously, all of that cannot be said. We do, in fact, have some rainfall going on in Illinois, Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, New York. Also going on over here inside of around Kansas, Nebraska, and even around a good portion of Wyoming, getting some snowfall over there, rainfall, some side of Louisiana, Texas, southern Florida, getting in on some of that rainfall. But for the most part, and up there inside of Michigan as well, everybody else still looking dry. Now, what about our cloud cover? Well, right now, cloud cover seems more kind of just on the clear side, as there's not really any cloud cover at all. And let's go on and talk about our future cloud cover, as that will change. That will change. We go all the way to 11 p.m., all the way to 1 o'clock in the morning, and you can automatically see the difference as some cloud cover will be trying to move its way through 2 a.m., here's 3 a.m., going all the way to 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and we have cloud cover now going all the way throughout the state. We go all the way to 7 o'clock in the morning, then we get all the way to around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 p.m. here. We do, in fact, have some more cloud cover going all the way to 3 p.m. We can just go throughout the entire day, all the way to 12 o'clock in the morning on Thursday now, and it looks like cloud cover is finally starting to move its way off a little bit, especially throughout the upstate areas. Even as you get to around 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, cloud cover is now just going on throughout that more lower area, not too much in the northern areas. And then it looks like cloud cover still tries to stay, but not as widespread as it was. Like you can see right here, this right here is at 4 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. But if we go back and look at like 6 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday, you can see that difference. Or even 8 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday, you can see that difference there. Now, what about our current temperatures right now? We have around a good 47 in Charleston, 40 Summerville, as well as 47 in Beaufort, 51 in Hilton Island, even around a good 43 inside of Georgetown. We also do have around a good 47 in Murrells Inlet, 49 in Myrtle Beach, and 39 in Conway, 49 in North Myrtle Beach, at 43 in Sumter, 41 in Orangeburg, and 43 in Aiken, 43 in Newbury, and even around a good 43 in Sumter, Florence, 44 in Hartsville and Lancaster, and 46 in Lawrence, 47 in Anderson, and 47 in Greenville and Clemson, 45 in Spartanburg and York, as well as 42 in Rock Hill. Now, what about your low temperatures for tonight? Low temperatures would be at around 38 in Greenville, 39 in Spartanburg, and 39 in Rock Hill, 36 in Sharon, 37 in Camden, 38 in Columbia, and 37 in Sumter, 37 in Orangeburg and Moncks Corner, as well as 36 in Walterboro, 44 in Charleston, and 38 in Georgetown, even around a good 42 in Myrtle Beach, 37 in Florence. High temperatures for tomorrow. You have around a good 56 in Greenville, 57 in Spartanburg, and 56 also inside of Rock Hill, 56 Anderson and Greenwood, as well as 56 also inside of Columbia, 55 in Camden, Sumter, Orangeburg, 54 in Florence and Barnwell, 55 in Walterboro, Moncks Corner, 58 in Charleston, 56 in Georgetown, and 57 in Hilton Head Island. Rainfall for tonight, for the most part, not expected at this time, but we will see some more rainfall as we go into tomorrow, and I think that this could potentially be a little bit more on the less likely side, because I actually do think that some rainfall definitely is possible tomorrow. We'll talk about that as we go into the models for the short-term future, but I do think that some rainfall could potentially happen tomorrow, but according to this map, no accumulation is expected as we go throughout the next 24 hours. Crazy score for tonight, we're at a 25. Why are we at a 25, you may ask? Well, first reason is because, number one, sub-freezing lows inland. For the most part, it's not going to be as low. Like, for example, we're not going to be down in the 20s, low 30s, anything like that. If we do have any sort of freezing temperatures in some areas, it's going to be very isolated. It's not going to be too much of anything. Going to be some strong radiational cooling, as well as clear skies for some areas, light winds, dry air. That keeps some low temperatures as you go overnight. But calm conditions does eliminate the wind chill amplification and the fog risk. Other than that, though, that's about it. And so that's why we're inside the mild category. SPC outlook for tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. Not expected at this time. Excessive rainfall, not expected at this time, no matter if we go through day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 5. We are good. Now, I do want to go on now and talk about the model, so we're going to go on and talk about that right now. Time is in the top right corner of your screen. Make sure that you go in and pay attention to that, because that is something that you should be paying attention to, just in case I don't say the time. So we're going to start off here at 9 o'clock p.m. We go all the way to around 12 o'clock in the morning. You can see nice and dry all the way through to 8 o'clock in the morning, nice and dry. But then once we get to 9 o'clock, as early as 9 o'clock, the HRRR here has some rainfall going on inside of not the very far upstate, but kind of like the southern upstate. All the way to 10 o'clock in the morning. Look at this rainfall that we have here. And even if you go on and look at the 20Z, they had some rainfall, but when this last came out, that'd be 4 o'clock. So this is what they saw at 4 o'clock. So I kind of don't really blame them too much, because, at 4 o'clock you didn't really have too much model information. But for the most part, this now is starting to spread more throughout the upstate, starting to spread more throughout the northern Midlands as well. Even as you go through around 12 o'clock p.m. to 1 o'clock p.m., you have all this rainfall going on throughout the state. So I think definitely, even though the National Weather Service said no rainfall accumulation is expected, I definitely think that some is definitely expected as we go throughout tomorrow. And even if I go on and look at my crazy score, because it is based off of what the National Weather Service says, and right now it looks like that, for the most part, that even my crazy score has it a chance of rainfall as you go into tomorrow. So, like I said, maybe just during the time frame they didn't have any new like model data for this time frame right here. So probably that was the reason why, if I was to guess, when they last updated it. But like I said, that's just a hypothesis. I don't know exactly. We'll go right here, 2 o'clock p.m., 3 o'clock. You see this rainfall right here pushing east. And so this right here, this is not the cold front. We do, in fact, have that cold front right there to the west. You can see over there Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Another cold front right there going on through. And that's going to bring some snowfall up there inside like Tennessee mountains, the North Carolina mountains. But not really going to bring us of anything yet, any snowfall. We get to around 5 o'clock p.m. as this system has now tried to move its way off. Pretty much has by 6 o'clock. But look up there inside the upstate, 7 o'clock p.m. We have some rainfall moving into the upstate now. And it's starting to fizzle out a little bit, but it's still there. And as it continues to push its way through all the way into Thursday morning, we have some rainfall moving through there. And then our cold front will be passing by. And so all this rainfall that you see here is mainly post or pre-front. So that means pretty much that the front pretty much hasn't passed yet. But this is 1 o'clock in the morning here on the 15th. You can see all of this dry air moving in from the west, moving into the state. 4 a.m. all the way over towards 9 o'clock in the morning. Dry air now, that cold front now moving through like the low country areas. And in terms of timing, we can go on and talk about that. Moves throughout the upstate around 10 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night. Tries to move throughout the Midlands probably around like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 5 o'clock throughout parts of the Midlands. The PD areas going on around like 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe to 7 o'clock in the morning. Then the low country, Grand Strand areas by around 8 to 9 o'clock. And that will bring those gusty winds. Gusty winds from 25 to 35 miles per hour definitely is expected as we go into that Thursday. And so even if we want to look at temperatures as well, you can see right here, 10 o'clock p.m., 40 degrees over there inside the upstate. That cold front pushes through, and you don't see those 40-degree temperatures that you just saw the night before. And it's pretty much the same thing for all these locations. 50 over there inside of near Columbia, 46 near Walterboro. This cold front pushes its way through, and it tries to get back up, but this is another one of these occasions to where the nighttime, it will be warmer. In fact, it's going to be just so cool that a lot of us may not even get to 50 degrees. In fact, only maybe a couple of areas. High temperature for Thursday. I can go in and show you that right now. This right here, this is the high temperature for Thursday. Very, very low. 39, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, 44, Columbia, 44 in Sumter, 44, Kingstree, 47, outside of Georgetown, 46 in Myrtle Beach, 49 in Charleston, 50 in terms of Hilton Head Island as well. And so this is high temperatures. What about low temperatures for Wednesday night? You can see that it is definitely lower. It does go all the way to 9 o'clock in the morning. But these low temperatures that you see here, this is really going into the very, very late night, going into the early morning. Look at the high temperature for Thursday here. The more you get towards the coastal areas, the higher it's going to be. But there are some areas that, for the most part, they don't really change too much in terms of their high and low temperatures. But we continue our way through all the way past 12 o'clock in the morning on the 15th and look at all this cold air that we have here. And at that point, going into, this is Thursday night, we can't quite see it yet. We'll see it tomorrow evening, but tomorrow evening we will really see what this cold air will really look like in terms of model-wise and in terms of hours-wise tomorrow night. So we'll see what the wind chills will look like. We'll see what the temperatures will look like, but that's just for the HRRR. We can go and look at the NAM now, though. As the NAM right now, as you go in and push that forward, you have temperatures all the way down, but it doesn't quite reach the levels of the HRRR or other models, for example. Now, this is for Thursday morning. That's not the night of. We want to go to the next night. And there we go. You can see temperatures down near the 20s and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, this is going to drop further. It's going to drop more and more and more. And so I do believe that as we get throughout that nighttime period, Thursday night going into Friday morning, that's when it's going to continue to get more and more on, more and more like on the cooler, colder, freezing side. But that's pretty much all I had to say in terms of the short-term future. Just make sure you're prepared for it. Make sure that, I say it almost every night now, but pets, bring them inside. Plants, put them inside of a garage. Put them inside of your house. Protect them. Cover them with a blanket even just anything like that. Also, make sure that if your pipes are not wrapped, make sure that you want to drip them. Or open up the cabinets, kitchen cabinets with pipes with them, bathroom cabinets, all that stuff so that the heat from the house can get towards them as well. And so all of that stuff is definitely stuff that you should be taking into account as we go throughout the next couple of nights, especially Thursday night, Friday night. Tonight, like I said, not really going to be too much of freezing, so nothing really to worry about there. We go right here now into our long-term future. Cold front has passed at that point, around 7 o'clock p.m. on the 15th, and we stay dry. Remember, I was saying a dry weekend is in store for the most part. That's what it's trying to look like. This is Sunday right here, and I know you see the blue inside on the screen right here. Now, like I said, 128 hours out. 120 hours out now. So that's not a week. Definitely not a week. But if we go back to the 12Z, it doesn't have it at all. So consistency is all that matters. I mean, this may just be like a little one-run wonder here. So, we'll see what happens though with it. But it does show snowfall on January the 18th during the afternoon. Like I said, we'll see what happens. This probably wouldn't be like the craziest snowfall event or anything like that, but something we're going to look out for. But just too little confidence on it right now. Too little confidence on it. All the way throughout the 20th, the 21st, nice and dry, but then we go all the way to around like the 24th. You can see on the 24th here this rainfall from this system right here. And you have this major cold front trying to move its way through around like the 24th and the 25th. And we'll talk about each individual cold front in just a second, but then as you go all the way past around like the 29th, seems like we might be dry for the last couple of days of January. We'll see what happens there. If we go on now and look at the dew points, we do in fact have that cold front, like I said, passing through on the 15th. We have another one passing through on the 17th. We have another one passing through, maybe around like the 20th, the 21st. And then, seems like we may have even another one passing through on the 25th. So, like I said, our little quadruple cold fronts here, and maybe even more on the 28th. Cold front after cold front after cold front after cold front after cold front, just over and over and over and over again. So, what I think, for the most part, is that like a lot of these are 300 plus hours out. But I said yesterday that some of these cold fronts might not be as strong as the other ones. So we have the first one here on the 15th. That's obviously going to bring us some below average temperatures. We have another one again on the 18th, below average temperatures. We go all the way through the 21st, 22nd. But this is the cold front right here on the 21st and the 22nd, but it's still warmer than average. Does that mean that it's not going to be cold? Absolutely not. It just means that for this time of year, it's still warmer than average, even with the cold front. But like I said, it's still going to be cool for a lot of areas, like 42 up there in the upstate, 50s near the coastal areas. Now you continue this forward, another big cold front like we were talking about here on the 25th. We're seeing temperatures potentially like close to almost 30 degrees below average over there in Missouri at that time frame. You can see all the way up here, January 25th. Like, very, very cold. In fact, that's so cold, it might even be in the negatives. If we continue our way through, in terms for our temperatures, back down, all the way towards freezing temperatures, 20s-ish or so on the 27th. We may even have another bit of freezing, and so we're gonna have freezing temperatures for a good little bit. You continue this forward even more. I mean, just look how many days we have where we have freezing temperatures. We'll take a little bit of a break, like I said, 22nd, 23rd, 25th. You can easily see the warm front system right here going on with this. I mean, this is a classic example right here of a little cold front. Right here that I can show. You have like you have the cold front right here behind it. And then after you have the cold front, you have the low pressure, you have the snow on the backside, you have the warm front over here. That's going to bring us those moist and more warmer than average conditions before the storm comes along. And then if I go on and check out the temperature, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. You see all of this warm air. I mean, we might see 80 degrees as we go more into like the end part of January, but just due to that warm front there. Even if you only look at the dew points as well, like I said, higher dew points, backside, cooler air. So we might be talking about some potential severe weather here, potentially. The moisture is there. The dew points is there. The Cape is there as well. So we might be talking about some later severe weather in about a week or so. But we'll wait. We'll see how it refines and stuff like that. But for right now, too far out. That moves its way through. And then, like I said, we talked about everything else. So I do want to go and talk about the entire our pattern breakdown right now. So we go all the way through. I'm going to move to the GFS real quick. And we're going to start right here, obviously. This first little system that we have here, it's moving through on the 15th. That's going to bring us our first cold front. They're having some fun out there in the west. And one thing I want you to watch is just as you continue to see those low pressures seep down from Canada going into the U.S., you can see as it continues to just move its way through. Obviously, the darker blue areas, that's the cooler, colder areas. And over there in the west, the more orange, the redder areas, those are the more warmer, more nicer weather. And there goes our secondary cold front right here. As it continues to push its way near us, we have another area from Canada coming down, but doesn't quite reach us as much. The thing that I'm watching for is over here in the west. This is the start of that system that we were just talking about, the one with the potential severe weather, as it starts its way over here in the west, bringing them probably some unsettling conditions, and we start to kinda try to get normal for a little bit. And let's see if I'm mostly. I mean, you can see the energy over here inside the west. We're trying to get back together where we are over here in the 22nd, 23rd. I said it was going to be dry during that time period, and it seems like that it is. You continue this forward as this low pressure moves its way through, and then this is the area right here, severe weather that I was talking about as it moves its way east, bringing us some more severe weather at that point. So you have the trough right here. They're getting some nice weather over here inside the west, and then as the severe weather continues to push more and more over into the east, that's what we see there. And so it's just a pattern over and over and over again, rather it be from the west or from the northern parts of the U.S. up there in Canada. We're just in that recurring cold front pattern over and over and over again. And that's all I have to say in terms for your long-term future. So let's go on now and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say for tonight. Starting off, Mr. Chris was here first. He says, good evening, everyone. Hope you had a great day. I did. Thank you so much for asking. Please remember to go on and hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also share with everyone that you know. It's free and it helps the channel grow. He's absolutely correct. Right now we have around a good 19 people that have tuned in and only 6 likes so far. So if you're a part of that 13 that have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time. Maya Lewis says, good evening to everyone. I pray that everyone had a blessed day. I did. Thank you so much for that. And then she also says in Georgetown today it was cold but sunny. Mr. Chris says currently it's 43 degrees here in Moncks Corner and a calm wind. Right now at my house it's around 41-ish or so. And my newer one says 42. My name says, hello Jay, a bright chilly day. I enjoyed it. It was it was pretty nice out there. It was pretty nice. I didn't have to put on too much. Actually, didn't really even have to put too much layers on this morning. I had like this quarter zip that's like almost like a sweater, almost, and it's like a very thick quarter zip. So I just went on and wore that, and that was enough to keep me warm. And then Miss Chris says you're a day behind. I know at the beginning I accidentally said Monday instead of Tuesday at the beginning. That says, Guillaume, Justin, Weather Family, I trust all is well. It was a gorgeous day here in San Antonio. Well, thank you so much for that weather update in San Antonio, and I'm glad that all is, or hope all is well with you. Then my Aunt Lewis says, today I left my house at around 5 o'clock, and my car temperature was around 30 degrees. I was so cold until my vehicle warmed up. That's why I always start my car up before, in the morning before I get into it. Got the remote start feature on it. Just go in and press those two buttons on it. And I make sure that I preheat it. So what I do is I go in and get the settings all the way turned up. I turn that heat up to max. 10 minutes before I get outside, that car is nice and toasty. So I'm good. So if you have to, or even if you have to go outside and start it before as well. I know some people who walk outside before they have to leave, turn it on, and then go back inside, do their final stuff, and then go back outside again. But I just recommend just getting a remote start feature, put it on your car. Trail says, greetings everyone, greetings to you. My Aunt Lewis says, today I saw on the 12 noon weather report that it said Friday morning is going to be 25 degrees. Probably. Thursday night, going into Friday morning, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. That's why I've been talking about and repeating so much. Make sure that you're prepared for Thursday night going into Friday morning, because that's going to be a cold night right there. She said, I don't care for cold weather like that. Same with me as well. That said, seems like it's getting a bit cooler tonight. Hopefully not too cold. I've already wrapped my outside spigots and unhooked my hose as well. I mean, for right now, your low temperature tonight around 46. So you're not quite near that below freezing, temperatures yet. So I don't think there's really too much of a risk of, pipes bursting and stuff like that. But like I said, if it is getting cooler, which, for the most part, we'll go on and talk about San Antonio, though, and talk about if, you need to watch out for some freezing temperatures in the future. But for right now, it looks like you don't really have anything to worry about there. And then Mr. Chris says, also remember to check on the elderly and the less fortunate. He's absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct. As, make sure you check on them and just neighbors just in general. But that's all that I have in terms for the chat for tonight for me. So let's go on now and check out the 4 locations outside of South Carolina that we were just talking about. We were talking about San Antonio, Texas, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as well as Duncan, Oklahoma. The reason why we talk about these 4 areas is because we have people from these areas who tune in almost nightly. And because they tune in almost nightly, we can go on and talk about them. And their location, not even the main one being talked about, yet they still show up. So we're going to start off here with San Antonio. Like I said, low temperatures tonight around 46. High temperatures tomorrow at around 72. And then low temperatures tomorrow night at around 44. Precipitation, not expected at this time. In terms for your severe weather, excessive rainfall, none of that's expected. So you are good there. And we were just talking about for your future. If I go on back to that. Should be it right here, yep. It looks like for the most part, yeah, you kind of will be like alternating back and forth. 72 tomorrow, 65 on Thursday, 71 on Friday, 63 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday, 68, and then you kind of like straighten out as you go into next week. So, also wind gusts will also be high as well. Gonna be a bit breezy. Wind gusts are up to around 30 miles per hour or so tomorrow. So make sure that you're watching out for that. And then for the most part, like I said, kind of be jumping back and forth. Your low temperatures will stay mainly the same in like the 40s. Then what about Raleigh, North Carolina? You have low temperatures tonight at around 38, high temperatures tomorrow at around 56, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at around 29. Precipitation is not expected tonight or tomorrow, but tomorrow night there is indeed a chance of rain and snow. Yes, chance of rain and snow. So you will have that possibility as you go into tomorrow night. In terms of your weather for the future, obviously with that cold front moving through, it's definitely going to cool down for you, but it will warm right back up. Saturday up to around 51. Sunday it's going to drop back down again to around like 40, 45. Remember, we're having those multiple cold fronts just over and over and over again. And so that's going to continue to happen. Like, as soon as your temperatures try to go up, it'll just drop right back down. Severe weather and excessive rainfall is not expected for you either. And then for Philadelphia, you have low temperatures tonight around 39, high temperatures tomorrow at around 51, and then low temperatures tomorrow night at 28. Precipitation is not expected at all tonight, but tomorrow there is a slight chance of rainfall, and rain/snow is expected tomorrow night. So that is something that you're gonna have to watch for. But both rain and snow is expected to go into tomorrow night. Now, in terms for your future, it looks like for the most part you're staying more on like the cooler side, especially in the Thursday high temperature of 31 degrees. You will not get above freezing from Wednesday night all the way through Thursday night, and potentially even through Friday night as well. So it's going to continue to just stay cool over there, and you will warm up for like a day or so until you go back down to potentially straight freezing temperatures from Sunday night, MLK Day night, Tuesday night, and so yeah, you just have to stay bundled up as you go throughout the next week or so, as that's not going to change. No severe weather or excessive rainfall for you. Then for Duncan, low temperatures tonight around 42, high temperatures tomorrow at around 57, then low temperatures tomorrow night at 27. Precipitation not expected tonight or tomorrow, but there is a chance for some severe weather, but it's not, anything like excessive rainfall or thunderstorms, but it's fire danger. That is something that you're going to have to look out for, and it's mainly for Friday. Friday, you do indeed have a little bit of some fire danger to look for on Friday, January the 16th. Right now, it's around a 40 to around a 70-ish chance to get those critical conditions. So watch for it. We're going to watch for it. Things can change and it can go away. Still 4 days out. But we'll continue to monitor that for you. And then that's all in terms of the 4 areas. So what's going on throughout the entire U.S. weather news-wise? Well, above average temperatures will prevail across the plains and the west coast this week, while a cold front will bring Arctic air to the south and the east coast Thursday and Friday, almost like I just said that earlier. Lake effect snow is forecast downwind of the Great Lakes through Thursday along and behind the Arctic front, as well as mountain snow across the southern Appalachians as well. We also will see some dense fog over here inside of California, rather be near like Bakersfield or over there near Fresno, California. They're going to receive some dense fog tonight. And then, other than that, I don't really see anything else. I see something over here inside of Tennessee, but it seems like right now it actually has a chance for some snow. We talked about the mountain snow up there inside of Tennessee and North Carolina for the short-term future. But I think that's all. So make sure that you tune back in tomorrow morning with your Wednesday morning forecast update. If you have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. Also, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Right now we have around a good 23 people that have tuned in and only 8 likes. If you are a part of that group of 15 that have not hit the like button yet, go ahead and do so. It's free and you can change your mind at any time. Also, subscribe if you're new. 651 trying to get to 700. We are 49 away. Yes, 49 away from that main goal of 700, and we are 24 away from that quarter of the way mark, of that 3/4 of the way mark, of 675. So we're going to continue to push our way there. Just also remember to share. Share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, even people that you don't even like. Just go on and send it to them so they can go on and get a weather forecast. And that's the last thing you have to do for them. You don't have to do nothing else for them no more after that. So just go on and send it to them. Get them that. And I will be back tomorrow morning again for your Wednesday morning forecast update. Top fan of the night tonight, Mr. Chris was at number 1. Maya Lula was at number 2. And then Thad was at number 3. Congratulations to the 3 of y'all for being the top fan of the night tonight. Make sure before you leave, you hit those 2 buttons.